Hi guys, throw some reactions, and this video I'm just going to share some channel updates. So there are multiple points that I want to discuss. Of course I made notes. I want to talk about Xena, Dark Angel, the Umbrella Academy breaks, Patreon pilots, which show is going to replace Charmed after I finish Charmed of course, and lastly suggestions. So I first off want to start off with Xena. So Tina, I know it's been quite a mess on YouTube. There has been multiple like returns and then breaks and all of that. But my last return, my current return, I said that I wanted to finish the first season on YouTube, and I'm still planning on doing that. There are only two more episodes left, and then I'm done with Cena, with the first season on YouTube. With what that means is that there's going to be another break, but this case you know that I'm gonna make a return. So last time you didn't know if I was ever going to return, but now you know. If you're watching Xena on YouTube, you will be able to do that again. I'm just at this point I just can't say when. I can only say, there will be a return. Um, there are going to be some changes. If you're watching Xena on YouTube, then after season one, you're going to watch selected episodes of each season. I'm not sure yet how many episodes. Um, my first goal, my goal that I have in my head right now is to have around 10 episodes of each season. So I'm probably gonna do like a poll maybe on Patreon, or maybe you feel free to put your suggestions in the comment section. Just asking you guys about which episodes you would like to see a YouTube version of, and then I'm gonna try my best to edit them. But the main point is that after the first season of Xena, there's going to be a break on YouTube. On Patreon, nothing is going to change. It's going to continue. The last episode of Xena I've posted on Patreon is episode 6 of season 4. Next point is Dark Angel. For Dark Angel, when I introduced the YouTube reactions, I also said that there will be at least 10 Dark Angel reactions. So the first 10 episodes would also be on YouTube, and I'm still planning on doing that. I believe there's only one more Dark Angel episode left, only episode 10 after I posted this video. Um, but I want to do more than that. I don't just want to stop at episode 10. Plus, I have to admit, it really helps that so far, really hoping I'm not calling like bad luck or something, but so far I haven't really had any copyright issues with Dark Angel. Um, so it's really more rewarding to edit Dark Angel, because at least people can just watch it on YouTube and I don't have to click on the link and all of that. So I don't just want to stop at episode 10, but at the same time I do have to be a little bit more strict about which shows I'm going to edit and so on. So I kind of came up with a compromise for myself, and I want to do 5 more episodes of Dark Angel. So just as with Cena, feel free to comment down below which episodes you want to see on YouTube, and I will try to make sure to include them. I do have 5 episodes in my head that I want to share, but your opinion is very important. So, in short, there are going to be 15 Dark Angel YouTube reactions on YouTube for the first season. And after I finish the first season, so after those 5 selected episodes, Dark Angel is going to go on break as well, on YouTube. On Patreon, it's going to continue. Um, on Patreon, the last episode is now episode 19. Um, and I'm just going to continue both Cena and Dark Angel. I won't skip any episodes on Patreon. It's mainly just an editing problem. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess, the point I was trying to make. Then Umbrella Academy. Umbrella Academy, another show that's given me copyright headaches. Ugh. I finished the Umbrella Academy today on Patreon, but of course I also still want to share YouTube reactions of them. But somehow, I'm not sure, because I know that there are other reactors on the Umbrella Academy, and as far as I can tell, they're having no problem using, using the footage of the episode in their reactions. But I guess my editing is just not good enough or something, because mine just keep getting worldwide blocked, which is extremely demotivating. I re-edited the first and second episode, but it still got blocked after a few days or week. So I kind of gave up. But I wanted to let you guys know, because I know there are some of you really enjoyed those reactions. So I am planning on bringing them back, but it will take at least for me to finish, Xena on YouTube, which wouldn't be that long. It would be like 2 weeks, I believe. And after Xena, the first season is done on YouTube and the show goes on break, then I do want to try to bring the Umbrella Academy back, but those will probably be redirects because I don't really see the point of re-editing the first 2 episodes yet again for them to end up being blocked anyways. So that's the update on that. Then next point is just breaks. If you're a patron and you already know this, but if I finished a season of a show, then the week after that there won't be reactions of that show. So there are going to be breaks in between seasons, is what I'm trying to say. And those breaks will be at least a week. There will probably always be a week, but there might be special cases where it will be a little bit longer. But if that is so, then I would definitely tell you. So for Charmed, I already wrote that down in the pinned comment last week, I believe. For Charmed, last week I shared my season 6 review on YouTube. So this week there will be no Charmed because season 6 is now officially finished. So again, this week there will be no Charmed reactions. There's nothing really going on. It's just a break. Just a little bit of break, and I don't have to edit Charmed this week. And then next week I'll start with season 7 of Charmed. I mean, I will try to, because as you noticed, even though that I'm trying my hardest to make sure that it won't get blocked, Charmed yet again got blocked. But if you haven't already noticed, I have posted re-uploads of the final 2 episodes of season 6. So if you check out the link in the description box to my Google Drive folder, you will be able to find them. Next up, which show? Oh no, wait. First, Patreon pilots. Patreon pilots. I mainly just wanted to give a little bit of an explanation because it seems that some people don't really understand what Patreon pilots mean. Patreon pilots are chosen by people from the sponsor tier. So patrons for the sponsor tier, they choose a pilot episode for me to react to. So they support me on a higher level, and in return I react to an episode, the first episode of a show that they choose. And in some cases, if for example like Doctor Who, the pilot episode got chosen, but then that patron is so generous to choose the second episode the next month, and etc. So that's why for some patron pilots there are multiple episodes of the same show, because a patron chooses that same show, and I of course don't have a problem with that. But I noticed that some people think that I choose the patron pilots myself. That's not the case. I don't choose the patron pilots myself. They're chosen by patrons, by lovely supporters. And sometimes, not that much, but sometimes I choose to edit a Patreon pilot and to share it on YouTube. And I thought I made it pretty clear that, if I post a Patreon pilot, that doesn't mean it's going to be continued. But I did notice some confusion, especially when I posted Boy Meets World. But again, if I post a Patreon pilot, the chances are pretty high that it will just be that episode, especially for the near future. Of course, there are always chances that at some point it's going to be a main show, and if a show has been picked as a Patreon pilot, then chances are definitely higher because of the fact that it got chosen, because of the fact that I was able to share it with people on Patreon. I could see the response. I could see like, hey, there are people who would like to see more of my reaction to that show. And of course, it was also a great way for me to discover that show and to find out like, is it a nice show to watch? Is it an enjoyable show? Is it also fun to react to? Because there are also shows that I do like watching, but I can't really envision myself, reacting to it. So hopefully it's a little bit more clear now that Patreon pilots are not chosen by me. They're chosen by patrons. And if you want to support me and want to be able, to choose an episode for me to react to, then feel free to check it out. It is the sponsor tier on Patreon. It's the sponsor $20 tier. It is limited, but if you just check out around the end of the month or the beginning of a new month, then there might be a chance that there is a new spot. And then Oh, then of course, also important, which show is going to replace Charmed after I finish Charmed? Well, I did a Patreon poll, and the show that has won is Ghost Whisperer. And I actually already reacted to the pilot episode of Ghost Whisperer, and I really enjoyed the pilot. So I'm very happy to be, being able to continue that show. And of course, I'm planning on also posting it on YouTube. But first, I'll have to finish the Charmed on YouTube before I'm gonna try to put Ghost Whisperer on YouTube as well. Because for Charmed, the last episode I've posted is episode 6 of season 8 on Patreon, so we're getting close and close to the end. I'd rather be in denial, but okay, I don't have time for this. But yeah, so after I finish Charmed on Patreon, I'm gonna start with Ghost Whisperer pretty quickly. There might be like a little break of a week, but I'm gonna start with Ghost Whisperer pretty quickly. But for YouTube, again, first I have to finish Charmed over there before I start with Ghost Whisperer. But of course, we have to see what the copyright gods think about that. So lastly, just suggestions. I don't bite suggestions as long as people don't get mad at me or disappointed that I don't do that show. Because sometimes I feel like some people get offended when I'm giving the answer like, hey, maybe one day. They expect me to answer like, yeah, I'm gonna do it right away. Unfortunately, I can't. I, I, I'm not at a point where I can hire editors or anything. I edit, like, all shows are edited by me. And even if I didn't have to do all the editing myself, I still can't react to every show ever made. Trust me, there are a lot of shows that I want to react to, and I am trying to get used to doing more recordings at the same day and all of that. But even then, I can never do every show. So that's another reason, why I started with the Patreon pilots. Because there are a great way to do more shows. But at the same time, I do understand that not everyone can or wants to support me. And especially, on that level. So suggestions, of course, they're also always welcome. But just keep in mind that if you make a suggestion, I do mean it when I say like, hey, this sounds interesting, and maybe one day I can react to it. I do mean that, but please don't get mad when that day doesn't arrive anytime soon. I also feel bad a lot of times, but sometimes patience pays off, because there are some who recommended Dark Angel to me back when I started the channel, and now I'm actually doing Dark Angel. So I am trying. So if you want to make suggestions, of course you can. I do prefer it. I'm not saying you have to, but I do prefer it if you would give me those recommendations on Discord. I have a recommendations channel, so feel free to drop your recommendation there. But again, if you don't want to have a Discord, it's fine. But I hope you understand that I don't mean to disappoint you, but it's just impossible. It's just impossible. I'm also gonna try to remember to put a link in my description of shows I've already watched. There's a site, how do you even pronounce it? Tracked? But recently I've tried to mark as many shows that I've watched. When I was doing the poll of which show should replace Charmed, I shared that list so people could see which shows I've already watched. Because there are quite some shows I've watched, but there are also a lot of shows that I only watched a part of, and it's quite hard for me to always determine like, hey, which show will people still be interested in, even though I already know some things. So I'm gonna try to share that list with you as well in the description box. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. Wow, I'm hoping that my update makes any sense. Do let me know. I was debating whether I should make a video or make a community post, but I thought it would be more nice to just talk directly to you. But do let me know. If you're like, Baldi, I'm sorry, but it's a little bit more clear if you just write it down. Let me know. I won't be offended. I understand. I'm quite bad at doing this. It's much easier for me to react to a show if I have something to react to, something over here, instead of just So yeah, let me know. Maybe I should just stop here. I hope you're having a great day, guys. Bye.